All right. Welcome home and welcome to base. Thank you all so much for joining us. Today we have another build session with Jacob. So get ready for some impromptu building.
Let's do it. 1 second.
It's going to be very enjoyable. Now I really hope Abraham actually is around right now. To like hop on and like talk about sort of what he's building and we could just sort of integrate.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure he's also been watching the Homebase stream, so
Really? I guess so. Yeah, he seems pretty keyed in onto things.
yeah, so I have a feeling that you heard us talk about this and did it, which I love, and that's why I want to bring him up.
Let's see. Well, do you think he'll show up? Should I wait?
No, nothing we need to wait for. I'm just being hopeful.
Okay. 1 second. Yeah. Okay. In the morning. Okay. All right. So what are we building today, Luciana?
Today, we are building Homebase map. Homebase map is something very dear to our hearts, and especially to Jacob's.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Something that Jacob had begun building before we had even met, actually, and it somehow fit in perfectly to the Homebase ecosystem. So now we are joined, brother in arms, brothers in building. We now build together as one unit for Homebase, the base ecosystem, and for everyone who's a part of it. Now people can go to homebase.love and they can find a base event, an in real life base event, a workshop where they can learn more about base, how to build on base, and they can check in once they're actually there here on homebase.love. And the best part is it proves their attendance.
That's true. So we talked about building user profiles. Shall we start trying to get that implemented?
I think so.
Cool. Okay.
I think the key is just to make the UI as simple as possible. And circular.
Right. Like quite literally circular?
Yeah.
Let's see, I wonder how I can do that.
So the way I imagine it, so click on your address right now. Okay, so right here, there should probably be a profile button, maybe even at the top. As much as I want the copy address to be first, I feel like profile should even maybe be the first button, but this is also Rainbow Kit specifically. So not sure if we can change the UI there, but if we can, I think that would be like best case scenario. The other thing we can do is like connect with Farcaster with homebase.love, the actual site.
Right.
And then
so we
could even make Sorry, go ahead.
We are able to change that drop down.
Oh, okay, perfect. So yeah, we can just add a profile right there. And then it's like that's the thing. I don't even want them to click a button that says like create profile. I just want there to be like boxes for them to fill in. Because like the profile's already there, right? Like they've connected their wallet. Like that's connecting your wallet is how you create a profile.
Right.
None of this email bullshit. Like I can't even believe some places are going back to just email. Like it pisses me off so much. And I actually tried to use Rodeo the other day, and I was shocked that I had to like transfer ETH into USD to be able to use it.
Really?
And then shockingly, it wouldn't. I tried to convert in the way that the UI prompted, and it just didn't work. And it's just so unfortunate. I just want to be able to use, crypto. And I know
Yeah.
I'm, one of very few users who feel that way. So, it doesn't make as much sense to target that user. So, I mean, I totally understand, but it is frustrating.
You're a power user.
I try to be. But, we're only so powerful.
Let's see, where are they going? Heroic.
So for people who are joining us, we are building out a little bit of features for Homebase map on homebase.love. If you haven't seen homebase.love yet, I suggest that you go check it out and find a base workshop near you. Feel free to put your base names in the chat. If you have a base name, put it in the chat. If you don't have a base name, DM me. I can help you get one. If you don't have a base name, put your ENS, your ETH address, but don't forget to put your base names in the chat. That's what I like to see. The base names is how it be.
We're going to have a little bit of crazy inception here. There you go. Thank you, Hamed. This. And then do this real quick.
All right. This is going to be good. I am really excited.
Okay, I'm going to open the stream on my phone so I can see the chat while we're going. Yeah, so if anybody ever has any questions or comments, or you want to share your base name, feel free to share it. We'll be looking.
And if you jump in and you don't know what's going on, feel free to say something, but we'll keep repeating. We are building Homebase map. I'll try not to repeat it too much so people who have been here with us the whole time don't get too frustrated, but you'll be able to see what's going on. And if you have any suggestions for what we should do, feel free to throw them in the chat as well.
So yeah, we're currently working on building a user profile. And so for this drop down, I'm just trying to find right now a good image for it. So we're going to ask GPT user icon. icon right here. There we go. Heck yeah, it's really clean. Okay. So when they click on it, they should go to their like profile page.
Yep, exactly. And the profile should basically just be, I guess, eventually we can do like what addresses they want to connect, but let's just start simple and do connect Twitter and connect GitHub. The only real lift there is that we would want them to actually verify and log in to those accounts in the same way you would, to authorize on Farcaster, for example, authorizing your Twitter.
Right.
And then outside of that, I want it to look like you're like filling out a, like not even filling out a form, but it would just say projects, and then there would just be like a text space for you to talk about your projects, like short description or just put links, whatever you want to do.
All right. Okay. User.
The two things are, what skills do you have, or what skills are you looking to use, I should say, because even if you have the skills, you might not necessarily want to like put it out there. Like you could say like full stack dev, but let's say you like doing backend more, you would like put backend, and then so other people know that, front end would know that you're looking for backend to complement your skills. So what skills are you looking to use, and what are you currently working on or looking to work on? I guess that's like how we would frame it. And we could even just ask that question in a text box. Like, what skills are you looking to use? And, and what are you working on, or what are you looking to work on?
Right. So if you don't mind, and you
Yeah,
have time.
just type in L D'Angelo 77 DEANGELO.
DAN?
DEAN GELO. Yeah, perfect. And 77 at gmail.com. If you don't know how to get a base name, feel free to email me, and I'll walk you through email how to get a base name.
It said that's not a Gmail account. Is that right?
Should be L D'Angelo. There's an I in front of the like you currently have an I. It should just be L D'Angelo 77 at Gmail. That makes sense.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. There we go.
Nice. Okay, let me get a crack-a-lackin' on that, and then I can just start contributing there.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be super detailed. Just
No,
like
I'm just gonna be hyper specific, like short and sweet.
Sure. Great. Params. Okay, I'm just gonna do this and reference an old project.
Do we want to do connect Farcaster, I guess, and then we don't even have to like add connect Farcaster to the site? And then wallet really is like the main.
Right. I'm trying to stick with keeping the wallet as the main.
Yeah. I guess this is perfect then. Just those like FC, Twitter, GitHub, and then we can always backfill talent and icebreaker. But let's actually forget about icebreaker and talent for a second. Worry about that later, and then just like maybe a text box here. It's like.
Profile. Cool.
I have this really interesting idea where, like, what if you could just add like these buttons, like instead of asking people like, hey, like pick multiple choice, what skills do you have, and we create like the bucket of skills. We literally just let them like add a bubble, and then they just type like the skill, and then they click enter, the bubble like appears to their profile.
So I was literally thinking the same thing, dude.
Okay, amazing. And then because we could do the same thing for projects, what made me think of that was I was working backwards from thinking about like what's the best way for them to like actually link what they're working on, in the same way where I'm thinking like, all right, if Jacob's going to add a project, homebase.love or homebase map to his project, he would type in homebase map and like press enter, adds the project, and then he could link homebase.love. So when people click on Homebase map, it takes them right to like the project you're working on. The only thing is the question between like, I kind of like the idea of only making it one link because uh, it's easier for people to just go to one thing, and it might be a website, it might be a social media account, etc. So like as much as I want people to be able to add both, like let's say you have a website and a social media account, like maybe you could have like a Twitter button like on the bubble as well, but we don't necessarily have to make it that complicated at first. So we could just start with like a singular link to a singular line of like what the project is.
Sure. There we go. Interesting. Okay. So that go to
Oh, somebody said, I don't know if you saw this in the chat, but one of the base batch for Kenya, one of them is off. So after we finish that, we should probably fix that first.
yeah.
Actually, you know what? Maybe I should say something like, hey, if there's any other, thank you for catching.
context. There you go.
Oh, I'm actually gonna make that full screen. It's kind of hard to see right now.
Okay, so I can make it bigger too, just a little bit. Consumo. Okay. Consumo is now updated. And that change, I'll find module was where's corresponding. Consumer should be updated. We'll let them know. Okay. Back to the profile.
Nice. Very well done.
What happened? What did I do?
Updated
Oh,
and responded like almost instantly. Love that. Efficiency, baby.
Mm-hmm. Header. Profile.
All right. If you are joining us in the chat, please send your base name. If you don't have a base name, let us know. We can help you out. Also, feel free to send your ENS or your ETH address if you don't have a base name. And if you do have a base name, make sure to be sending it. Send that base name in the chat. Right now, we are building Homebase Map, a place where you can go find an in real life workshop near you and prove that you're actually there by checking in at homebase.love. Home base is the place. It's your home.
Come up with a theme song for us.
We got to get in the studio, start recording.
I think I want.
So close. Also, we talked about you saw OX Designer's tweet about using cursor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we talked a little bit about this, and what do you think about specifically using Planner versus like Dev? I guess that was like one of the main points was you can sort of put cursor in these two positions, one as the planner and one as the actual developer, and not letting it sort of code until you've fleshed out the entire plan.
Yeah, so that's interesting because Sohei was on earlier on Build on Base,
Right.
and like they have a whole. I should have it here somewhere.
Yeah.
Thinking social. Basically, like this very elaborate, not even elaborate, but well thought out prompt. A couple prompts here. And she has llm.txt in the project that you can use to essentially give the LLM all these docs here, and it would have an amazing understanding of it. Alongside, like she even just has a README in her projects that contains and goes into what the code is doing and what it's meant to be doing.
The way it should be.
Yeah. And so if you have it that well thought out, I think it works really well as an agent. But then, like right now, if I tell it, I don't know, a very abstract statement, it's going to go any direction with it. So I don't know. It's a good question. I think, you got to do the proper setup or know what you're working with on whether you want to use it as an agent or a planner. It's a very good thought. I don't know.
It is very interesting. I think it obviously, I've done to some extent, and it definitely works pretty well. But it also, I feel like if you are succinct enough in your prompting, you don't necessarily have to. Like it depends how complex what you're building is, I'd say.
For sure. I mean, that's the whole thing. Like many apps seem like the perfect vibe coding thing,
Right?
Because they're small enough that
you actually could bang it out in a few prompts. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Welcome for everyone who is joining us. We are building a Homebase map, which is a place where you can go find an in real life workshop, in real life base workshop near you, where you can learn how to build on base during the hackathon and the buildathon base batches. The best part about Homebase map is if you go to homebase.love and you go to one of these in real life workshops, you'll be able to check in and prove your attendance, prove that you actually were there in real life. If you have any suggestions for how we should build this out, or what you think we should see, or you should see, I should say, let us know. Let us know in the chat. And also, don't forget to put in your base names. Send those base names. I want to see more base names. I've seen several already, and I'm very, very happy that you've been sending the base names, but I want to see more. If you don't have a base name, let me know. I can help you get a base name. And if you have an ENS or an ETH address that you'd prefer to send, feel free to send that as well. Statuette, base morning, very base morning indeed. You know what would be really fun is if the first person the first person who sends their base name into the stream, we'll put it up for everyone to see, and then we'll tell everyone to send them $1 or like 10 cents, and then it will rack up.
That'd be fun.
That's a good little incentive.
Huh.
I mean, we could even send that with Warpcast rewards too, especially once we start using Homebase Farcaster account more.
So like the Farcaster rewards is, I mean, really based off of just engagement, right?
Activity. It's based off a lot of different things, based off replies, and even based off of if you've like verified your Twitter account and what country you're from, like based on your phone number. And I guess the quality of the accounts that engage with you as well.
Interesting.
Also your mini app usage now. So there's a lot of different variables in the Warpcast reward. So you just have to be using that bitch. I'm sure eventually it's gonna count wallet activity as well, but that might be a whole nother leaderboard.
I see.
But you can earn on both sides, like from just casting activity and from building a mini app and having something that people use often.
Yeah, so there's probably a lot of cool things we can do there then.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. My phone just got Statuette's message in the chat. GMBM?
All right, you know it. So I added just about everything that I think we should do into the doc.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to keep the live running, etc. I am going to put your screen full now, though.
Okay.
Yo, homies. YH is gonna be the GM of Homebase. I'm already calling it. All right, I'm gonna let you take the lead here for a second. I'll be right back. Hit me up on Telegram if anything happens, and I'll be right back.
All right, should be good.
BRB. Appreciate
All
you.
right.
Let's go.
Gotcha. Make sure to leave comments, questions as we're going through this. Statuette says, yo. What's up, Statuette? Appreciate the Warpcast post you just made. Looks like we got a few more people from that. Pretty cool. Okay. Now I think we are not an observer. Profile. I don't know how to structure this. Let's see here. We'll just leave that for now and then owner. Okay. So owner, observer. So if they are the owner, I'm not going to worry about any of that. Owner just shows the user. There we go. Okay, let's see what Luciano has added. Profile, connect forecaster, connect Twitter, and connect GitHub. And then a bio. Okay. We're just gonna skills, projects. What's basematch.xyz? Trust your domain security with 3DNS and Optimism. Secure name record. I'm gonna have to ask Luciano what that means. For better results on base match. Okay. Can you add, or I want to create, just going based off that 0x designers, we'll see if we can find it again. I don't know why my streams are so far behind. Okay, here we go. He says you do not want to tell it what to do. You want to, because it wants to make you happy. So provide it goals, not specific commands. So I want to create, I want to transform this web page into something that gets this information from the user. You don't need to worry about actually implementing what's required, or you don't need to worry about what's about actually implementing what's implementing the specific features, specific API endpoints and such. Focus more on the UX at the moment. Okay. Okay, it's already done. Button, input, text area, see those. Also, I notice we're not using the user prop. This means, would you like me to incorporate that? No, not yet. No. Oh boy. Please clean up the errors. No idea what it's doing right now, but would you like me to make any adjustments to the file? Let's accept, and let's see what we get. Okay, so complete your profile, connect your accounts, connect Farcaster, Twitter, and GitHub. Bio. Hi, I'm a software developer. And then we want to add like customary skills, React, Next.js, Solidity. And then that's tracked. Projects, add a link to your work. Let's make sure that's add a link to your work. https jacobhomanics.com. And then save profile. Okay. Projects should function similarly to your skills. Okay, so just reset everything. Let's just add random stuff there. Right, so then projects, add a link. Add project 1, it even adds a link. Can you make the projects list more of a top-down structure, I think. Just seems like it'll work better than the skills here. Number 1, jacobhomanics.com, remove. See, I like that better. jacobhomanics.com, remove. All right. And then save profile. So I think right now, what we're going to do is this. So I think what we're going to try and do here is, we're going to use Web3 technology natively for everything. We're going to try and not have a database if we don't have to. So what that means is all this data here is going to be stored. I'm thinking we could probably store it on the blockchain if we wanted to. But I think we can put it on IPFS. So our friends over at Jackal, I'll pull up their website here in a second. And so Jackal, introduction, let's just do a quick introduction to them. So Jackal documentation, Jackal storage, essentially, as I understand it, and I'll probably butcher the explanation here, but essentially they have their own blockchain that's able to store all this data. And then it's kind of tied to IPFS somehow. And so they have a deployment on Base specifically where all you need to do is interact with a smart contract. And once you do so, your stuff will be put onto IPFS, stored on the blockchain, and you'll be able to manage it. So what we're going to try and do is follow this quick start guide and see if we can store our user profile on their blockchain. So this seems like a pretty big endeavor. So I'm going to back up what I'm working on. We'll just put backup for basic profile page fleshed out. Let's see here. I'm also looking at the chat as well, so if you have any questions or comments, or share your base name, ENS name, or your address itself. Okay. Also, yeah, since this is now getting to be pretty user-oriented of an application, I kind of do want to, get you guys more involved. What pieces would you like implemented in this application? Do you also want to be able to connect Facebook? Would you like, I don't know, any other section, whatever comes to mind? Yeah, shoot it in the chat. Let us know. We want this application to be built for you and to be an actual useful tool for checking in at events around the world and being able to connect with the same people who also checked in at similar events. So, okay. Let's get Jackal implemented. So deploy bridge contract or find a bridge from EVM chain. We have our bridge. So using WAGMI, we have WAGMI and Handstack. Import the hooks, use and write. Locate ABI for the bridge contract here. We need that. I think we can put it in public, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe. We'll put it there for now. Or no, we'll put utils Jackal bridge ABI. Export const root ABI. Import root ABI. Okay, we did that. And now export the ABI for your storage contract. Check if the user has an allowance set with. Interesting. Okay, so surprise, surprise, the service isn't free. I don't think. Bridge contract ABI, address, get allowance. If not, set an allowance for the user using write contract. After that, you can call any storage contract function. So maybe, let's see here. Maybe they're just asking for ETH. And so I think they said in their stream, which was last week here on Homebase. They said right now it probably costs around $1 or $2. But I think it's in Ethereum. So I guess we'll find out. So, okay. Let's see what we can do here. Let's get the address. That's the root ABI. Find a bridge. There's only test nets. Here we go. Okay. They do have it split up by test nets and mainnet. Allowance, storage contract address. See, now what is storage contract? Export the ABI for your storage contract. Once you're ready to deploy your contract to a public testnet or the mainnet, you have several options. This is for Viper specifically. I don't... Storage module. Nope. I want to be able to use EVM Outpost Quick Start. The ABI forge, inspect, contract name, ABI. Check if the user already has an allowance. I'm going to reach out to him and see if he has any information on this. Patrick Dunlop, I think is his name. Yes. Okay, so we sent our message. We'll see if he responds. Any storage contract function. See, we have the bridge. From the example contract. What's the example contract? Let's take a look. Storage drawer. You can call any storage contract function. So it already has an allowance set with user and bridge API address, storage contract address. Connect to the Jackal data layer. Creating storage provider. There are a few things needed before installing. While logged in as the root or admin user, we add a Jackal user and give them root privileges. Start by cloning the Jackal book GitHub repo. From there, you can edit. No, that's for contributing. Using WagMe. Export the API. If the user already has an allowance set with use read contract. See, I need that storage contract address. Okay. In this case, what we're going to do is at this point in time, we won't. And then how do we? Okay. So what needs to happen here is one, we can't use Jackal at the moment. And instead, we're going to wait for them to respond. Instead, I think we're going to start with Sriracha. Sriracha TypeScript SDK. Let's see if one exists. Sriracha client. This seems like it. Let's see. Our Sriracha client is JavaScript library. Yep. Install. Okay. So we're going to install it. Okay. I guess let's read this real quick. So most users' usage of Sriracha Client will be for interacting with Sriracha.network, a hosted storage product that developed Sriracha for their upload APIs. However, any user that has an implementation of Sriracha can configure Sriracha Client for their usage. For authorization, Sriracha services as use Ucanto, an RPC framework built around UCAN. You can think about UCAN replacing bearer tokens and traditional APIs for authorization with Sriracha. Since any actor can be represented by a cryptographic key pair, your uploads are linked to a unique space that acts as a namespace for the data you upload. Each space corresponds to a DID. Creating a space using this generates the private key. Under the hood in the email registration process, invoke a basic usage with Sriracha. Honestly, I could do that. I'm thinking about just putting everything on chain, because then I just need to worry about gas fees. I don't have to worry about user authentication until they want an image. Can you add a profile picture upload? Okay. There we go. Okay, cool. Choose file. We'll do this. Cool. That works for me. So we do need to store an image, which again takes us back to having to use IPFS. Because storing images on the blockchain are no good. And that's no longer, I guess let's try and use Sriracha. Sriracha React example. So I want to see, yeah, here we go. But do they have... Because I'm pretty sure their implementation, yeah, so it also hasn't been updated in 2 years or 3 months. So we're not going to deal with that. push to backup page. Here we go, Sriracha. UI React. Network. Luciano, are you there right now? Okay, he is not. So there's a few things I got to do here to dealing with environment variables. So I don't want to show, because I think he has to put me back on. Let me see here. No, that's fine. Okay, well then let's focus on connecting Forecaster, Twitter, and GitHub. Which I think also need API keys, but we'll get there. Let's see here. I'll help you implement GitHub authentication for the user profile. We'll need to use GitHub's OAuth. Set GitHub connected, GitHub username, client ID. Yeah, see, so I need this guy right here. Add the following environment variables, GitHub client secret. So now hang on here. Let's see what happens. One click handle GitHub connect, GitHub auth URL. Okay, so let's see here. To complete the GitHub, you'll need to create a GitHub OAuth app. Go to GitHub developer settings, click new auth app, set the following application name, homepage URL for development, add the following environment variables. So I should be able to do this since it's dealing with local hosts. So let's see. New auth app, Homebase, maps, local, homepage URL, right here. Add the following environment variables. Or wait, homepage your app's URL. Localhost 3000. Register application. And here. Okay, so we're actually not going to do this. Delete this application. Okay. So we also need to wait for Luciano for that one. Let's focus on connecting Twitter. Can you help me? 1 second, we're going to back up real quick. GitHub flow. I do want to save that chat so I can go back to it, right? Yep. Okay. Integrate. Can you help me integrate Twitter authentication? Let's see what it says here. In your Twitter developer portal. See, so I think Twitter OAuth flow login. Okay. And then connect Farcaster. Wonder how to do that. Can you help me integrate Farcaster? What did I say in the other chats? Authentication.
All right. What did I miss?
Welcome back. We have a pretty beautiful looking profile page.
Oh my god, that is gorgeous. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And exactly as we want, right? They can add. I just refresh because yeah. No more refreshes. Okay, add React, and then
Nice.
add. You can see it here. I think we.
Oh, dope.
And so
I
right
guess
now, good.
Eventually, what we should do is allow them to change the hyperlink to a word, I guess, or a term, but it's definitely not a super priority.
That's good. We can have it do that right now. Can you change it so that the projects have a name as well? Again, I'm trying not to use AI as much. It's just too good sometimes.
Oh, that's actually perfect. Holy shit.
There you go. And then maybe hide that. I don't know. But yeah, there you go.
That's yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, have it so it clicks on where you can just click on portfolio. Yeah, that's good. And I talked to our friend who picked up Base Match, and yeah, they're down to contribute and let us use it if we need to. I mean, I guess everything's gonna live right on Homebase.lib, so maybe it's not necessary, but maybe it is.
No, that's a great connection. Is he going to hop on stream?
I don't think he's free right now, but he does have the domain if we need it, ultimately.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, because those are two different people though. The guy who actually made the other Finder thing, he hasn't gotten. I don't actually. Let me check see if he got back to me. I don't think he's gotten back to me yet. Oh, looks so good.
Then yeah, it hides, and then when you hover, it gives you the URL. Cool. And then now we're adding an edit button. Okay, let's see here, portfolio. Edit. Ah, I love it. All right. Press edit. It populates. So I reached out to Patrick Dunlop from Jackal because I think we'll be using them.
Yes, love to hear it.
To store the data, but he hasn't got back to me yet. And there's like a specific problem I'm stuck on. I'm trying to get it to work. So we'll see. Maybe he'll get back tonight.
If not, no worries.
Right. There we go.
Nice.
Cool.
Oh, that's great.
Cool. Okay. So now that we have that, image connect with Forecaster. I'm just curious. Does it automatically scale? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very well.
Wow. Very well.
Okay. So I think what I need to do is stop sharing my screen because I have to deal with some environment variables.
I'm gonna remove your screen. I'll add mine back up. Bam. And we're back. As well, in case you wanna pop through. All right. Does anyone have any suggestions, any additions, any edits to homebase.love or to homebase map specifically?
We'll just use that for now. We're just going to use Pinata for the moment because I think that's going to be the easiest.
No problem.
But
I'm trying to think, maybe people go to like basematch.xyz and you just click like literally just click match, and if you don't have like a home base profile, then it just takes you to Homebase to make a profile. But I guess it doesn't need to live on Homebase match at all, really.
Well, I was gonna ask you, what is basematch.xyz?
It's just a domain if we need it. Like if we really need the like matching to live on in another place, which we really don't need to ultimately.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I gotcha. So sign into Pinata. Here, I bet we can just do, can you make it so that when the user saves their profile, it uploads it to Pinata.
I guess the key would be to let hackathon or like let people choose what hackathons they're participating in, or like we would just have like upcoming hackathons or build-a-thons, and it just like people who have registered for this, or just like click a checkbox if you're gonna do this hackathon, I guess. But we do want to make it where like, you know, a place where people can reach out to each other, and they really don't need like a third party to do much more than, you know, create an algo that, you know, actually matches them to with who they're looking for to some extent.
Yeah, I think it could be simple enough just where, like, yeah, it's like when you have these IRL events, there's not going to be thousands. I mean, maybe there's thousands. I don't know.
Eventually, I guess.
Hopefully. But you'll be able to like just see a list of all the people and be able to click on their profiles and get a better understanding of them, and then reach out. So okay, let me see.
Let me know when to add your screen back as well.
Not ready yet. Working on it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about how we can do this in like the most effective and least cumbersome way possible. The cool part of the profile will actually be like we can show like a history of check-ins eventually.
Yeah, no, I think we already. Well, I mean, the technology already exists for that. We just have to implement it.
Right.
Yeah, like I think that would be super cool.
That will be really cool.
Like you'd be able to go to other people's pages, see all the events they went to.
I mean, and that's like the product that's really scalable at the end of the day, because like, you know, it's like POAP, but just better, you know, like, but I mean, also different, you know.
Just make it admin for now.
Because POAP really is like meant to be like more of like a cool collectible, where this is just like this is like actual proof of attendance.
Exactly. This guy gets it. Okay, so let's see here. Made. Sense. Let's see here. Make an add.
Oh, I also had to, speaking of POAP, I also had to finish making the POAP for the Homebase workshops. I have just about all of the addresses together of the people that participated. I wanted to add some of the wallets of some more of the workshop hosts specifically. But I think I pretty much have everyone's.
They are configured. number of segments. It's not true.
I converted the POAP to a GIF. This should now work, and then I should be able to send this to every workshop attendee.
Okay, yeah, that's gonna be pretty sweet. Interesting. I don't think that's going to be right. Did it work? It did. Interesting. I see. Okay, and then save profile as well. Okay, so let's see what happens. Oh, I see. That's that's very cool. All right.
Ready to start streaming again?
Yeah.
All right. You're back on stage.
Heck yeah. Okay. So here, I'll show you what I got. So right now, let's start fresh. Let's see what we can do. PFS hash. PFS hash. Great. So we're going to say it's nothing for now.
It looks great.
Okay, so yeah, they're able to select their image, set their bio. Thank you, AI, for making me an awesome software engineer. Skills, React, Next.js, Claude. And then projects, portfolio.
Oh, see, yeah. See, that's why I said add 1 to 3 skills for better results on base match.xyz. So we should just say like in base matching. Add 1 to 3 skills, period. Actually, let me rewrite it first real quick. Just make your life easier.
Sure. And then we can save, grab that. Then let's say PFS. There we go. Heck yeah. Okay. So now we need to create a way where can you stop sharing my screen for a second, actually?
Yeah. And you are off.
Thank you.
Wait, I'll do this. I won't play it, but I'm gonna add it for the vibes.
All right, I should be good now.
Okay, I'll add you back. That, add that. Make it full screen. Bam, we're back. Okay, I just fixed the copy.
Gotcha. Let me check.
Or I could say the better matching results will be. That's all right. Yeah, that's fine. It's good either way. Actually, no, it was better the other way. Yeah, OG.
Very cool. And then this is what you see if you're not logged in.
Nice. So, yeah, actually, let me share this with you. I was thinking, like, this is. I'll actually share my screen for a second. Oh, I gotta change my Google Chrome settings real quick. There we go. Oh, shit. All right, to be able to share my screen I'd have to restart. Oh, because that's to show my specific Chrome tab. That's actually pretty cool. All right, let me try this. Oh, never mind. It's for both. Never mind. I am going to send you a screenshot.
Okay.
I'll just send it to you on Telegram. All right, so I'm thinking something like this. Of course, it's just a random idea, but it should give you a sense of maybe where we should put the actual directory itself. Like, where do you actually go to look at the profiles, you know? And where's the matching? We want the directory to be pretty big, and we like what would be really cool. Like, let's think about why people actually use this, right? From the builder's perspective, if you're already building something, you want to know if something's building something similar. How do we actually create the right tags so we can make it useful enough so people could go and be like, oh, well, I'm building, an AI agent token launcher, right? And you can go look at all the other people building like an AI agent token launcher. But if I know, like Proxy is building Clanker already, maybe that's data we should input, like that's the other thing we kind of need to think about is, do we want to pre-populate the directory at all? And how do we do that without it being like too invasive or intrusive? Because the other thing is like we could literally populate people's projects with like with their, I guess, like if they connected a Farcaster account or if they have a connected wallet and they have some form of Twitter or Farcaster connected, we could even like populate it for them. Or just create an account or create a profile for them before they even hop on, if we know that they are building something on base. So I don't know if that's something that we should do or could do, but it's something probably to think about.
Something to think about right now for sure. Um,
Is
so
it
I think
like if we were to pre-populate the directory, what do you think is the best way to do it?
that's a good question. I personally don't think we should pre-populate it. Because here's what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
I'm still sharing. So I'm imagining, right? You go to map and
Like map is true top of funnel.
yes,
Like people really don't go to create a profile outside of using the map.
they can. And
But we don't
maybe
necessarily need to create like a funnel outside of it, you're saying, which I think is actually probably accurate.
we could. I mean, there could be like a homepage that shows map, like two buttons, just map and
Yeah, I was thinking how we could create a real flywheel with the directory. Like once we have enough data, like people actually come not just for the map, but they come for the directory, and then they even put their profile on, which makes it more valuable, you know. And then they all have a reason people go there, and they all complement each other. Of course, that's like best case scenario and not easy to do at all. But I guess I'm just trying to think about like max of effectiveness, I guess.
right. Well,
And
here is how I'm thinking of it as a user that I would really enjoy it, right?
yes.
I would see all these events happening, or the one that's happening near me. So let's say New York.
Hmm.
Click on New York, and yes, I can check in. Yes, I can go to the Luma page. But I'm also able to see all of the other attendees, and it kind of grabs a quick
Mm,
look at their profiles. And it's important, in my opinion, that we scale this beyond just build-a-thons and hackers, right? If you're just showing up at we're in New York, so NFT NYC, right? Maybe you're not a hacker, maybe you're just a artist creator and you're just looking for other artist creators, or maybe you're looking for a venture capitalist, or you're looking for, I don't know, a storyteller, right?
True, right. Operators, anything.
And so you kind of get this directory of, you have developers, VCs, entrepreneurs, developers, CEOs, etc. And
Okay, so there's two things I'm thinking about right now, and the first is like this is super useful like internally within an ecosystem because instead of using like Farcaster or Twitter or something else as like the true verification method, having like this single place point of contact and like having such a specific like um I guess onboarding tool and community tool is like really useful. So there's like us using it specifically for base and having it like be this all encompassing tool. And then there's the piece where we allow other ecosystems to start using it, maybe white label, different branding, etc. And then we collect all of the data together, and then that is really what's used as like the overall like matching, and people can kind of just use that whenever. Is that sort of what you're saying?
I think so. So okay. Um, maybe there is a general directory that you can just see all the users. But so like for instance, I can go to
Because the directory is like most useful, I feel like, within these closed ecosystems, I guess.
yeah.
But having like the overall general one would be useful for other things.
Yeah, I mean it's all public
And
anyway. Might as
and
well have both.
and that's where it's like useful outside of build-a-thons, hackathons, etc. Because like the ecosystem ones are super valuable within these like hackathon framings, etc. But like once we have every ecosystem all using it, all for their own community needs, hackathons, etc., then we have this massive data set, this massive directory, and people like building in any ecosystem could be like, oh, who's building a token launcher, and use our directory, and then they'll actually know who. And the coolest thing actually would be if we get historical data around like what people have built, and people start like adding in like things that they fucked up on, like why the product didn't work, why the timing was wrong. They could actually have like real retrospectives on like why they had to give their investors back their money, or why they ended up failing for other reasons. So that's like the real use case, or the overall use case of the directory, of having not only knowing exactly what the competition is right now, but knowing like why it's failed in the past, and like maybe who actually should be the ones building it in the future. But that's like super long-term vision.
For sure. We'll get there though.
You and you think it'd be like I'm not mistaken thinking that's like not like that is true value in my mind. Like people would actually use it if we had that level of network effect.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
I mean, this is essentially a way, because if you think about it, like most of the typically the reason people go to conferences and hackathons is less about getting something done or building something. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's hackers out there where like their sole goal is to build a product.
Especially young hackers, like they want to win some prizes and shit.
Exactly. Um, and
But
that's how this tool is even useful for them too, is it could still be, and that's the whole thing. It's the whole networking aspect of it,
right,
right?
right.
You can go on this app, go and see who is attending Base Batch Workshop. And again, literally whatever you're looking for, whether it's a VC, other hackers, an artist, um, a party, um, you can find it.
It's kind of perfect. And of course, like it will even show like, yep, this person participated in Homebase, like the inaugural Homebase workshops. They have the POAP.
Yeah, so that's the other cool thing, right? Like when you go to profile, and let's look at from the here. This is the user profile. So we're actually going to use AI for this real quick. Can you create? Wait, we don't want to be an owner. We want to be in what's it called? Observer. Can you add a mock, or can you add a section that shows the events that a user checked into? Please use mock data at the moment. Here you go. So events attended. I don't think we need these descriptions, so they seem a bit personalized. There you go. So events attended, and like you can go to their page and see what they've attended, right? Like if they went to
Yeah, that's perfect.
Is any like if you're a developer looking for a teammate and you see he's been to 10 other hackathons before, you're gonna be like, oh shit, let me get this dude's Twitter profile.
How can we pull the ETH global data?
Like I don't know.
Without like them having to manually put it in.
So that's where this becomes the main platform for event check-ins and events in general.
Well, I'm just thinking like we could even already pull that data because think about it, every single wallet that participates in an ETH Global Hackathon has to stake a little bit of ETH with that contract. So it might take a little bit of work, but if we use that as the marker, we could. There might be some other form of identification as well. Like ETH Global may send an NFT to all participating wallets as well. I actually don't even know if that's the case. So like that is something like that we actually, if we did find an easy way, and once again, not something we need to do right now, but if we did find an easy way to just pull that data, we could actually add ETH Global Hackathons, which is a really good idea. And when we do home-based hackathons, then we can have it automatically propagate.
Right.
And then Homebase and ETH Global Hackathons, what more do you need? Maybe like some Solana hackathons, but who gives a fuck? If you're a real builder, even in Solana, you probably participate in ETH Global at least a couple times.
Right. Yeah, I think that's a bit down the road, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Make sure you mark that down.
I'll put it in let me put in the doc that we created.
Yeah.
That you created.
What sent us down that rabbit hole?
Because the thing is, it's like, did you participate in these esoteric mega ETH hackathons? Did you participate in these Ripple like in real life hackathons or some shit? We'd want to like curate it in a way where it doesn't get too crazy. But of course, if you want it in Solana but not like you work in Solana but not in Ethereum, of course you want it to be your Solana hackathon participation, not ETH Global. But we really don't need to worry about that. in this iteration. I'll just write it down and we'll figure it out later. Really only matters for the white labeled solution, but in that case, we know what the solution is, which is just to do Solana hackathons instead of ETH global hackathons.
Right. And to that point, if you are listening right now, you have ideas, like if you want Solana supported or Base or Arbitrum and other events or anything like that, like let us know. We're being pulled for you.
Yes. Okay. So ETH global hackathon to build base batches, obviously, and then Homebase hacks. But we don't need to get ahead of ourselves. Oh, this is good. This is good stuff.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How do we... So we need NFT. See, so this is cool. It's actually kind of turning into, or taking somewhat of an inspiration from this portfolio idea that I was toying with a while back.
Yeah. Another Jacob idea getting integrated into Homebase, I hear.
That makes 2.
Yeah.
Can we get 3?
It's definitely looking likely.
Oh, wait, yeah. So they need a name too. What's their name? Um, interesting. I wonder. I guess that's purely. That should be fine. Great. Bit of an update. Observer also needs.
What if we said on-chain profile?
Instead of public profile?
I'm just trying to think about a way to brand it because, like, for example, I feel like ENS had a really good chance of doing this, and they just don't, you know?
See, that's what I'm saying. Long run, we integrate with ENS somehow. As to what that looks like, I'm not really sure. I would imagine something like subdomains where like the main domain is like what is it? Homebase
Home
log
base.
dot base dot eth.
Yeah,
But
home base.
oh yeah, I guess so. Okay, so then Homebase. Wait, what? What is it?
Home base .eth, or it'd be home base .eth.
Homebase. Well, it'd be on base, so it would be. Well, no. So just because it's on base doesn't mean. So it would be probably something like dot homebase.
Base.
No,
ETH.
I think dot homebase dot eth. So what they're trying to do right
Yeah,
now, technologically, is making it so you can resolve that on any chain. And so, regardless of the chain, they create their profile, and their profile is now like Jacob Homanix dot homebase dot eth.
perfect. Yeah,
That's where we pull the profile data from.
I love it. That's
But I agree,
perfect.
it currently doesn't work.
Yeah.
kind of works. You gotta...
Yeah, I think on-chain profile is perfect because then we can just brand it as like, hey, if you want a profile for your on-chain identity, like this is how, like, it's the same way as like how Zapper should. It kind of felt like this on Zapper back in the day, where you created like a profile for your wallet, and it's how it should be with when you create an ENS. Like you should, when you attach like your Twitter and all that to your ENS, like it should feel that way, but it's like it's not like that at all. And there's really no way to like, there's no like ENS scan, I guess, for lack of a better name.
Right.
So we would just need a way to for people to search up the profiles. That's really where we're at. Like do we just alphabetically list all the profiles in the directory, and then there's just like a search box, and then eventually we'll need to do some form of like, AI integration, so people would be like, let me see all the token launchers or whatever the fuck, but that's yeah, far out.
Let's see here. How can we do this?
And that's why I sent you the way the picture over Telegram of how I'm thinking about the Homebase website. Because in theory, like the directory should be in the build board. Because there are like tabs. So yeah, let me explain that pic for a second. So basically, like there's 3 tabs: workshop, build board, and based house. And in the workshop, we'll live the like in theory, we'll eventually have the live right there on the website as well as Twitter, etc. And then we'll have the event schedule there and the recordings. And then in the build board, we'll have the developer directory, which pulls from the profiles. And then we'll have base grants and hackathons as well. And then in Based House, we'll be able to let people apply using their profiles. We'll know what hackathons they participate in, what workshops they've participated in. So we'll really know a lot more about them when they apply to our residencies in the future. And then eventually we'll be adding a tab for the permanent co-working, so people can find like, or maybe the map just becomes, we add like permanent home bases to the map. That would be fucking sick if that's like the end game of the UI. It has like in real life events and the home bases,
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy to think about, actually. And then we're top of funnel for everyone to go like to all these different co-working spaces around the world.
Absolutely.
Jacob, if this works out, I wish I could shake your hand right now.
I hope it works out. I mean, we're on a good track.
We're trying. We're gonna make it happen, baby. It's gonna work out because we're gonna fucking make it work out.
Okay, so what we actually need to do first, and that's what I've been stuck on trying to figure out, is so this profile is actually like hard coded in. So what we need to do is take a little detour. Oh boy, I thought I exited it out. Okay, there we go. CD repos. No. What? CD repos. Temp. npx create ETH at the latest. Yes. So we need to create another project, deploy another smart contract, and that I think might be an NFT.
You're staying here, right?
Yeah, I'm just going downstairs so I don't wake you guys up. Love you too.
So I don't wake you up in the morning.
And we're back.
Yes, we are. Let me share my screen again. Did we just get rugged by Twitter?
No. Actually, did we? Let me go check. Let me go check the Twitter. We should still be up.
Okay, because I got disconnected somehow.
I'm not sure exactly how, but yeah, it looks like we're still up and live and ready to go.
Cool.
Looks like I was okay. But the great part about StreamYard is even if I get kicked, the live stays up. I don't know how the fuck it does it, but it does.
It's that StreamYard, baby. Okay. So I think do we do that? What am I looking for right now? I don't even know. Let's see, so what if I just do mapping, address, string? URL. Set URL, that's URL message sender, URL. Okay. Is that what I want? I think so. Okay. Should be that simple, actually. And if we go to script, deploy your contract, move that. Okay, so now we need to fund some ETH. Okay. Can you take me off for a second?
Yes, I can.
Cool. Alrighty, I can go back on. Contract. Okay. Use profile smart contract. Where are you headed?
I'm about to go grab something that I need to I actually love that. I can just fucking.
Okay, so let's see. So currently there's no profile. Complete your profile. Let's go to Jacob Homanics. Hi there. React. Next.js. Projects. Let's say portfolio. And save profile. Save. And then we want to do that. So that's the thing. So that is uploading. Notification. I did it. Heck yeah. So let's say remove that. Save project. New transaction. I see, because yeah, it's not gonna wait. Await transaction dot wait. You update that transaction dot wait so that it actually works. I see. Okay. So now if we go and change my name to this, save profile. Profile saved successfully. If we reload, there we go. Sweet.
Still need me to keep your screen off?
It wasn't on.
Oh yeah, it's not on yet. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, but by what you were saying, I thought so. So I was like, you know what, I might as well ask.
Yeah, I forget. I really thought it was on that entire time. Are you near a computer right now?
Yeah, I'm at my laptop right now.
Awesome. Because I got some sick alpha for you to try out here in a couple minutes.
Oh yeah.
User profile saved in smart contract. That works. So we're gonna push this. And that's what I wanted to check. Oh, that does that. Right. Okay. Hang on. Need to update observer appropriately. So while it's doing that, just something I want to talk about, which is really cool. So if you've been in the space for a couple of years, when you use tools like Pinata or Jackal or
NFT storage.
NFT.storage, yeah, which is
Filecoin,
unfortunately
IPFS, ARweave.
all of them. It would be that you were a user and you would like a user of an application like this, and like you, when you're creating your profile and you would store data on those services, you would see like those IPFS hashes as the user. And as of today, it's pretty cool because we've actually just kind of stripped all that away for you right now. You can choose your profile image, you select it, and then we'll show here uploading. And we get our Pinata hash. And then when we save profile, right, this is the only UX bottleneck that still exists, which I'm pretty sure is going to get solved by Smart Wallet at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
But, it's just sign the transaction. We already have our Pinata hash for our metadata. Profile saved successfully. And as the user, literally all you needed to care about was signing that transaction. And that was it. And even
stored
that
on base.
away. Stored on base. And so we got it. We're here. We're living in the future.
The future is now.
Thanks, Claude. I'm just going to do that. And so yeah, it grabs that from the user, right? I want to make sure. Yeah, because I'm not even logged in. Great, it goes through the profile. Heck yeah. I got push, merge, profile. And so I think like we made incredible progress today. Again, literally just gave most of it to Claude. It worked wonders. So I think we're going to get this in your hands right now, Lucian, and anybody else at this point. Like you can, the whole point is right now, give it a couple of minutes. You'll be able to go to homebase.map/vercel, connect your, or homebase.love. You can go directly on homebase.love. Yeah, let's go to homebase.love. Still got to give it a couple minutes to update, but we'll get there. And we'll be able to connect our wallet, go to our profile, edit our profile, update it. We have all that wonderful stuff.
It's incredible how far it's come in such a short period of time, Jacob. You are amazing. You've done such incredible work. I can't even begin to describe how much I appreciate you.
Thank you. And likewise, again, wouldn't be having, wouldn't
Auto
be here.
distribution. I mean, yeah, all thanks to Base, to be honest.
Base, Homebase, the community, the people watching, for sure.
Base is based.
So let's see here. We'll know this updated when we press sign in. See, I guess this is where the directory comes in. So, because right here, this just is acting like a little widget inside the app. And so I can't really, I mean, I guess I could add like a little search bar and you just enter the address and it takes you there rather than having to need the whole URL.
The OX address, the ETH address?
Yes, for the user. So like your profile, like when you're on the web browser, it's localhost profile ETH address.
I guess that would work. I'm trying to think the way most people would use it and would search. Because it's probably going to be like by skill or by project, or you know what I mean, or just like key terms. Or that's the thing, is like I feel like most people would search by category of project that they're working on, or by skill would probably be like the two biggest ones. But that being said, having a way for people to like just throw in the ETH address and like it comes up with the profile is actually really relevant, because that's like if Zapper profile took off, like that's exactly how it would have worked. You know, people would have went to Zapper just to see like if people have like a Twitter or a Farcaster connected to this address. Because I do that all the time when I'm looking at people who have like channels on Farcaster, but they're completely unused and I want to use them. I'll like find out who they are, you know, find their address, and then work backwards from there, like find their Twitter or their Farcaster, start DMing them, DCing them, or replying to them until they respond.
Yeah, and there's not. I don't know. I feel like there's just so many places people exist on the internet, especially in Web3.
Yeah, like having a way for them to search up through the OX address is really useful, but I feel like for like the hackathon purposes, at the very least, most people will probably search by category of project or by hackathon that they've participated in or participating in currently, or by skill. But I guess that's also kind of for us to decide, because if we just create like a genuinely good algo that just matches people, you know, pretty effectively, then they don't even got to do shit unless they're trying to scope out the current landscape of who's building what.
See, so now I have a question here. When maybe not save, well, so okay, this goes back to my original idea. I wonder if I even have it and can run it. Maybe. Let's see, since we're already there. Well, let's do this first. I want to see. So yeah, okay, here we are, directly on homebase.love. You can click log in, connect your wallet. We got our wallet. Go to profile. There we go. We have our profile. Can we scroll down? It seems like we cannot scroll down. I might have a trick. No, that doesn't work. Let's.
What are you trying to do?
Scroll down on this page.
Oh, just so you can see more.
Yeah. Tab. I got to tab through it.
That's great.
But yeah, I'm able to go and set up my profile, set an image, bio, all this fun stuff, and save it.
Is that what you can do live right now?
Yeah, go to homebase.love.
Hey, okay, everyone go to homebase.love right now and go start creating your profile. I love to see it. Yeah. Absolutely killer stuff here. And where is you said the data is currently going to Pinata, and if we want to create a UI for a directory, we just have to add like, I mean, and we also don't have to do this tonight. By the way, it's totally up to what you want to do. But just for my understanding, the only thing we really need to do is add a UI for people to be able to interact with the directory then.
UI to interact with the directory then. Yeah, pretty much. Start building. So first, so here's the roadmap that I'm currently seeing.
Yeah.
It is we continue to flesh out this profile and see, maybe because it's live, it's there, we get everybody to start making some profiles, and then maybe experiment with that directory that you're talking about, or
True. We need people to add profiles first before we can create a directory. What the fuck am I saying?
well, no, I don't. That's not even what I think. What was I saying? Oh, because FarCon's happening in like a day, 2 days probably, and so right, we probably want to get Farcaster, Twitter, and GitHub set up for that. And so I think that's what we'll focus the hack on mostly, is getting these to work, which we might even knock that out of the park in 2 hours. Look at what we did in 2 hours today, or 3, maybe, something like that. So right now, I think just sit on what we have right now, think about it, maybe make a few changes.
Yeah, get people to start using it, create profiles.
Yeah. And then for the FarCon hack, we'll worry about connecting external applications or profiles like Farcaster, Twitter, GitHub, whatever else. And then after that, we go full force into base batches and get the directory, get the events, everything else set up.
I absolutely love it. That's a perfect idea. And I'll talk more with Samuel and Rafi about what they want to do for Farhack specifically. And because even if they do like homebase.love stuff, like just updating the UI, doing the grants and the hackathon stuff, then I could help you submit the Homebase map stuff specifically, and we should be able to run on all cylinders.
Heck yeah. I'm sharing this here for everybody else in the chat. If you go to that link, you can go to my profile. I wonder. See, there's so much we can do, because I'm also thinking, so these are the other ideas I had, right? Going back to the fee structure. Like now that we've integrated with Pinata, and we already have an Alchemy API key. And if we gain users, we're going to start seeing, yeah, so let me see if I can pull that up. GitHub.com, Jacob, on-chain portfolio. Yep. Packages, scaffold, chains foundry. Yeah, see, I still have the payment verifier and everything. Are you still there, Luciano?
I am indeed.
Gotcha. StreamYard just wasn't showing you. So okay, yeah, this is the application that used to exist. Now, how? Maybe I have network. Is it by network? I think this one got too lost in the sauce. But so essentially the whole idea is in order to essentially kind of pulling from how Uniswap does things, how they like take a fee for using their front end.
Yep.
But what we do is in order to have an active profile, essentially, and this might get a bit technical here for some people, but there's this payment verifier smart contract, which either runs on a one-time basis or checks, there's like a payment cadence variable that checks every month or 6 months or whatever the application wants to decide.
Yeah.
And basically, if you haven't paid that fee that is due, you know, let's say like a subscription, it's just a subscription fee of $5 a month. Then the application will basically say, hey, you're shit out of luck. Like, pay the
Like,
$5 fee.
profile won't propagate in the directory.
Yeah. So like that's one way we can do it, especially with like now that we're again back to the root of the problem. We're uploading data to Alchemy. We're using Alchemy to interact with the smart chain
Right.
or smart contracts as well, and we're interacting with Pinata as well to upload user data. So that's not free. And we currently don't have any investments for this product. So it makes sense to have that fee. That is just my opinion, by the way, Luciano. If you think otherwise, if you think it should still be free, like I'm just saying that's my case for why I'm thinking the way I am about that stuff.
That does make sense, actually.
Like if we're talking a
Would you
pure, huh?
Would you foresee the average cost per user of doing it once? I mean, storing it over time does have a recurring fee as well, but if we were to ask people for a one-time fee to put up their profile, how much would it cost? Honestly, the reason I like doing it more than anything is because it's makes it more Sybil resistant. So people aren't just like throwing up fucking profiles, you know, willy-nilly for some airdrop or whatever, wherever they think they should, you know. But I also don't want to deter people from doing it. So I think we can find a common ground here, like a good balance between both.
Well, so and that's what I'm saying. I don't know what the costs are. But I feel like to me, I guess the way I interact with my wallet, because I guess I survived like ETH gas fees in 21 and 22 when you know it was like $100 a transaction. And now if it's anywhere between like $1 and $5, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Maybe.
I mean, that's why Base, like doing Sense, you're like, oh my God. I mean,
Right.
even, dude, after using Base, it's crazy because, like you said, we were doing $100 transactions back in the day and it was disgusting. And now doing like a 50 cent or like couple dollar transaction on Solana like actually makes me like angry. I'm like, why would I use Solana if it's not like infinitely cheap?
Yeah. Well, so okay, that's kind of a counter argument, but I hear you. It makes
Well,
sense.
because like now that base is so cheap, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
why would I use Solana instead? But to your point, obviously there are real costs to storing this data, and if we can average out what it would cost per person, then we can average out a pretty good, or we just have them pay for it directly. But we don't want to turn this into like an NFT metadata storing situation. I mean, it could. I don't know. I need to think about it a little bit.
Yeah. Several things to think about there.
Yeah.
We figure it out. So there was that because yeah, like
I mean, so every time we let someone create a profile, like if you had to guess, how much do you think it would cost?
see, I don't know. I can't even guess on it. But I would say I don't know. People, I do hear horror stories of people saying like even with test data using these services, like they rack up crazy bills. So I don't know.
It's really hard to say, but I'll do some research. I'll ask around. I mean, people can already create profiles, right? So we'll already be incurring a cost.
Yes. Is that a concern? I think I'm on the free pinata tier. So even then, like if somebody chooses to mess with it, won't
Sorry,
be.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. It's not a huge concern. It's just something to be mindful of. So that way, like, we know how much you're spending out of pocket so we can hopefully get you reimbursed outside of like the labor that you put in. And then also be mindful of so we can try and determine if there is a real model here that makes sense. Because I mean, at the very least, like it might be something Base actually pays for if it's all base builders, you know what I mean? Like that's why I think this product is all encompassing. And we really have to figure out like what that end product looks like for the model to be more clear, because ecosystems at the end of the day are the ones that are going to want to pay for it. Not that individuals, not maybe some individuals do, and we do have a more general product, but the real model is for ecosystems, I think, including even storing the data. Because imagine just having a directory of all of the builders in your ecosystem, what they're building, like that's almost priceless. Especially if people use it, at least.
Or again, and I do want to try and shift your mind here. Yeah, I get it. You're very much in the builder hackathon mindset.
Yeah.
Just expanding back outward again, like Base can look and see who's a VC in their ecosystem, an artist, everything
Right.
else, entrepreneur, a blockchain itself, a subchain, whatever. So there's a lot of value there for sure.
Yeah, it's just once you start breaking out of the niches, the product, like the core product, becomes less clear. So it's harder to actually like retain that user base. But I mean, you're 100% right that it has like the potential for so much. It's just really hard to nail down how we can get there.
Right.
Mike goes like the realness of this, and Luciano D'Angelo get a home base in Tahoe because that map is quiet on the west side. Yo, Mike, you want to run up a home base or a base event in Tahoe? All right. Well, Jacob, is there anything else you wanted to add before we end the stream tonight?
Yeah, I think I think we'll call it here. Again, incredible. Way more than I could have imagined.
I mean, like, no, like, seriously, incredible.
Yeah, so I should be good. Everybody, go to homebase.love, create your profile. And again, there's base batch workshops going on all around the world over the next month during the base batches hackathon. Make sure to check into them with your profile and get your NFTs, verify your location that you're actually there. And then we will be able to build out that directory and get everybody connected in the base ecosystem.
Yes, sir. Get connected. Go find your home base. Go check in, and send your base names if you haven't already. And we really appreciate y'all for sticking with us, for building with us, for being interactive. Really appreciate you all. And once again, appreciate you as well, Jacob, for hosting the session and building Homebase Map.
Of course.
All right. I think that's everything. And we will see you all here later this week. I'm sure Jacob and I will be on again very soon.
Of course, for sure.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Bye, everyone.